Sometimes narcissistic parents can project their own poverty consciousness onto their child, especially if they have deep seated insecurity and they have a poverty consciousness. The two, the two of those combined will create such a discord for their child, because here is how it's going to play out. When you have a narcissistic parent that is deeply insecure, everything that they have accomplished in their life, that's the level that they are at. They do not want their children to surpass that level. And if the parents' level, if they aim that bar for themselves very low, and this is the only way, this is as far as they got, they want their children to be underneath that level. They don't want their children to even reach this level, because their insecurity is going to get in the way. So because they will know that they set the bar very low for themselves. They didn't go after what they wanted. They didn't live the life that they wanted to live. So they would be damned to watch their own children surpass them and get everything that they want in life. That's why parents that are deeply insecure like that and plateaued in life and set the bar very low for themselves, that's why they tend to sabotage their children. They sabotage their progress, they sabotage success, they set them up for failure in certain situations. They don't teach them anything, they don't help them out. They expect the child to fend for themselves and just figure things out on their own, and the parent doesn't teach them at all. The parent shames them for not knowing things, but the parent is the same one that did not teach them. The parent is trying to force them out into the world that they're not even ready for yet. It's all because of that deep-seated insecurity. They want to see their children worse off than better off. They want to see their children in a worse predicament than in a better predicament. And especially if they have that poverty consciousness, they would not want to see their children making more money than them. Even though the child having enough money can get themselves on their own, sustain themselves, and even be able to share some of that wealth with their parent, they don't even want to see that. They would rather have their children struggling and broke, even living at home in their house, than that child being successful, being wealthy, being financially independent, and being off on their own, doing their own thing. Because that insecurity is coming from them feeling like if they didn't have a lot of money to do stuff, they don't want to see their children having a lot of money to do stuff as well, because they would think it's not fair. How come you get to do that but I didn't? They don't want to see their children, making their own money and earning a good income and grooming themselves, keeping themselves up, self-care, self-love, getting everything that they need, getting something that they want. They don't want to see their children enjoying their wealth and enjoying their money, because it's making the parent feel inadequate. It's making the parent feel like they didn't do everything that they needed to do in their life to have the money that they needed to have. So instead, they'd rather not see their child have that money. That's why these parents can sit there and watch their child struggle financially and not offer them any help. They'll just sit there and watch them stress themselves out without any money, and the parent doesn't even help them. They don't think that, the thing is, like, we cannot be out here with just no money in our pocket, but a narcissistic parent with a poverty consciousness and is very deeply insecure will sit up there and watch that child go out and about without any money in their pocket, and they'll be okay with it. They'll be fine with it. They will say they'll live, they'll be fine, they'll figure it out. And that's exactly why that parent stayed in poverty, because they use their poverty against their own children. They use the fact that they are so stuck in poverty that they created a poverty situation for their children. There's a difference between your children being very young and them being minors and them just not being able to like work and stuff like that, and they have to just live off of you. But when it gets to a point where they're living with you and they're just trying to get themselves on their feet, and sometimes it's okay to have a little bit of assistance, sometimes it's okay for your parents to just help you out, especially if you are in need. These parents won't even help their child even when they are in need. Even when they have a need, they won't help them. But they'll be so quick to help out somebody else, but they won't help their children. That's why they stay in poverty, because they're not doing the righteous thing. They're helping out everybody else, but giving their own children, their own offspring, the short end of the stick. They think that they're hiding their behaviors, but God sees all, and God is not going to reward bad behavior.